in a lot of ways, I liked it more than all of the other three.
I love it.
I was like, well, it must be humans with the tasers.
Yes, I was like, where did the tasers come from? Where did the guns go? I thought we had guns. Oh, capitalism has entered the chat.
Yeah.
We're trying to advance to open the vault. What's in the vault?
Oh, but I loved that
Money.
there was a vault.
No.
I disagree.
I read that before the movie, so when Rocka showed up, I was like, cool, this is going to be the best part, I guess. But I think that's wrong.
Because in the first movie, the first thing that Caesar says
He says,
is
no.
no. The first thing that the girl says is Noah.
Hello, fellow cave dwellers, and welcome back to
Beyond the Cave.
Nice. We're your co-hosts, Olivia Devine.
And my name is Maurice.
You wish.
I do, because Maurice is the goat of this entire movie.
Wow. There's no such thing as small parts, people, just small actors.
And we just saw Planet of the Kingdom of the Apes.
Ape of the Kingdom of the Planet.
Of the rise of the dawn of the Planet of the
With
Apes.
the war. No, for real, we're not monkeying around this week, are we, Pat?
You were waiting to say that.
I've been waiting since I knew we were doing this today.
That's
yes.
good. That's
so,
good.
So about a week.
Nice.
About a week.
Yeah. So
we just saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and we have not said a word to each other.
we've been waiting to sit down here, talk with you guys, and dive into this. And this week was a build-up because we rewatched the first three movies.
We did.
For this one, so we're locked and loaded.
Yeah.
We've got it all in our brain today. We're gonna hit you with that summary, the review, the letterbox review, the
ones that aren't good reviews, some bad reviews, and if we agree with them or not, because I saw some hot takes. Let me tell you, not even hot takes, some cold takes that I just don't agree with.
Lukewarm hot dog water takes.
Yeah, don't insult hot dog water like that.
Okay, interesting. That's telling. And then we're of course going to finish with the final rating.
Our
out of
final
10.
rating out of 10.
Now, I have to say it again.
Yeah.
The opening shot of this movie is not Caesar.
It's not?
It's Maurice.
Oh, yeah.
It's Maurice, which tells me
that
Maurice is the goat.
Okay. That's who Rocka came back as. It's Maurice.
Oh.
We'll get there. We'll
Okay,
get there. Hold
yes,
it. Okay.
yes.
Okay. So, like Patrick said, we watched all three movies to prep. I don't want to say prep because it makes people sound like they have to prepare, but we had not seen. Well, I saw the first one since 2010. We should preface that we watched the first three that were made after 2010.
Yeah,
not
like
the ones in
new,
the 60s.
It's like the new universe of this.
Yeah.
Yes, we watched them all this week. I had seen the first one long ago with James Franco. The second one, I got really high with my friends that one night, and we watched it. And
classic. It's their version of Natural Planet.
Yes.
Or whatever that David Attenborough.
And I think is Gary Oldman, right? He's
Gary
the older
Oldman's
guy.
in it.
I don't know why, but I just kept telling myself that Gary Oldman was Will Ferrell.
Which is a shame.
And it made the movie unbelievably impossible to actually take serious because I'd just be this serious standoff and I'm like, it's Will Ferrell.
Don't get high, kids.
Anyway, and I never saw the third one until this week.
Yeah. So I had watched the first one with James Franco, which is Rise of the Planet of the Apes, a lot. I went to see it with my dad way back in the day, and it was one of those movies I remember watching in my teenage room on my first TV, and I just I kind of feel like watching Planet of the Apes today.
Yeah.
And it's good. I really like the first one.
I think of the original three,
and the third one.
I think I kind of like the first one the most.
Fair.
Because I'm just, it's such a, I'm such a sucker for an origin story.
Yeah, I like origin stories.
Even though it's not the most interesting of the three, I love seeing how it happens.
Yeah.
I don't really care for Caesar's early life and all that. That's kind of, so a bit of a slow start. But just seeing...
That's where we differ, Smith. That's where we differ.
Yeah.
I love babies.
I know you love babies, but adolescence, it's just
his mom,
ugh.
when you, that first couple of scenes and everyone's like, why is this monkey being so strange and acting so weird? And she was just trying to protect her baby.
That's going to be a common theme, is you're very into the babies of this universe.
We actually... Everyone should care about babies. They're helpless. Anyway, we didn't finish War
I don't
for the
even
Planet
know
of the
We
Apes.
know what happens, though.
Yeah, but it's not. We know what happens, but it's truly because I could not take it.
Yeah.
I had to turn it off. It was the point where they were just in the camp whipping other apes, and I was like, turn it off, can't do it. Nope, nope.
So that one ends. We know that one ends with the bad guy in that movie, who is Woody Harrelson, dies. Harrelson. And then Caesar dies at the end. And then this movie starts with them actually lighting Caesar's
They're
grave.
cremating him.
Yes, his grave.
They're lighting him up.
They're going like Dothraki style.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Targaryen style, I guess.
Yeah, no one else burns people after they pass.
Yeah.
Just in Game of Thrones.
That's it. No, it's truly just a Game of Thrones thing. So
yeah.
But then that's just like kind of to tie the worlds together. It's just a single shot of them cremating Caesar, and then it's like supposedly 300 years later that this movie starts, which
So the new one is 300 years later, and I think...
Is that confirmed? Is that what they said? Because it didn't feel like it was 300 years later.
When you Google the summary, the first summary that comes up is that it's 300 years later.
Okay.
But in the movie, it just says a few generations later.
And
which, I don't know, maybe generation means 100.
There's like
Are there rules?
There's two groups of humans in this movie. There are like the tribal humans that have like reverted back. And when I saw them, and towards the first half of the movie, I'm like, okay, 300 years.
Yeah.
But then as things go on, I don't know how much I mean, if you're watching this, you've probably seen it. Things go on.
Spoilers ahead.
Technology is revealed, and it's like, oh, there's some smart ass humans in the world.
Yeah, they're still using satellites.
This doesn't feel like 300 years.
Yeah.
Like I would be like 80 maybe or 100.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know, because after like so many humans get wiped out, like government's gone, systems are gone. I feel like it probably takes a while to like find a group, and then maybe one person in the group is smart. And then you'd have to come together with the groups and put the smart people together. And, you know, it's also like, how did they teach the ones to be smart? Like, we see that there's books, but I just feel like that would take a really long time.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us to consider that because we're not in that situation.
I kind of got the sense that the humans, there was more of a scientific government groups that kind of kept up into like
Passed
reading and that and technology kept that going, because this girl understands like what a hard drive is.
Oh my gosh, when she pulled that thing out of the machine, I was like, I wonder what that is.
Yeah. When she was like, I need to go in there because there's a book that's going to teach people how to read.
Oh yeah, she said a book, and I was like, I swear to God if it's the Bible, but it wouldn't be because that's hard to read. But then they found that little ABC book, and I was like, that's the book. That's the book they were looking for. But I will come back to that because I think that's a very big and important moment in the movie. Yeah. That will set up for the next couple of movies.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
I do eventually also just want to get to like how this compares to the first three.
Oh, 100%.
But should we go through like points that we liked?
Actually, that's a great question. Patrick, what was your impression of the film? What are your first
initial thoughts? Initial thoughts. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
I actually think I liked it's so hard with recency bias, but in some way,
well, we did watch the other three like yesterday.
Actually, that's true. I have no recency bias.
We do work, people, but
in a lot of ways, I liked it more than all of the other three, which I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with.
Interesting. So, we went to see it with our friend Chris, and hi, Chris, and at the end of the movie, he shared that he liked the first three more. And my thought about that is it's hard to compare a single standalone film to three movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
To me, that's unfair to just pit three against one or one against three. So I saw a review that talked about this a little bit as well. And it made me think while I was watching the movie, and I'm glad I read this review before, because I was trying not to compare it to the 3 movies. I was trying to just compare it to the first one because this is also going to set up a trilogy. Like the first 3.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, what? Like I was really trying to remember what my thoughts were for the original one that came out in 2011 and compared it to that.
I like that.
Because this is also an origin in a way.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Okay, what I loved about this is it felt like the opposite origin of the first movie.
Oh my gosh, I have that written down.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, I have that written down.
Because when the human speaks, May speaks for the first time,
they're like,
it's and
shit.
it's not quite as crazy when Caesar says no for the first time in that first movie, but it in a way like it carried the same shock value of oh my god, the humans can speak. And so I love how it is like this reverse parallel.
It is so, okay, I have that written down as almost like a mirroring effect. So in the first 3, I found that there was a lot of mirroring. This is mirroring.
Mirroring.
Yeah, like
mirrors.
Parallels.
Yes.
So like Maurice, the smart orangutan, kind of mirrored like another smart human. And then like there was a couple more things that I found that there was parallels where it was almost like the ape was looking into like the human. And if there was like a mirror in between them, they were seeing themselves reflected back just in human form or ape form in the other way.
Okay.
But I don't want to talk too much about the first movies, but I did find that was a huge parallel in this one compared to the other movies where she talks and they're like, holy mother.
Yeah.
You know, and the humans, and they get into the vault and they're like, humans made, echoes, because they call them echoes. Echoes made this.
That they call them echoes because it felt like an echo.
They echoed in the tunnel when they ran away.
Oh, no, that makes sense to me though. It was like I was thinking it's like they're almost like an echo of what they once were.
Whoa, okay, that's cool too.
Because like the humans, you know, they're what they were like is continued on, but it's not quite.
No, that's really
original.
Cool.
I don't know. Maybe that's a little. Maybe it's a little too much for these movies. But I don't know.
No.
Okay. This isn't like King Kong level simple.
Okay, that's another point I actually wanted to bring up with, like, because I feel like I have a lot of impressions on like what I think. That was a lot of what I was grappling with, and one point was that, especially while I was reading not only reviews, but just summaries of it and all that jazz, that it almost seemed like there was this debate whether it was spectacle, like just a spectacle.
This movie?
Yeah.
I didn't find
compared
that
to like
at all.
a think piece compared to the first 3.
No, I thought it did a good job with giving like
I
enough.
disagree with that too.
I thought it did a good job of giving a lot of thought. It wasn't trying to be like a super deep, thoughtful movie and like purely.
Yeah.
But I think it had enough substance for what this concept is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also thought they started asking questions near the end, like, can humans and apes live together? And in my head, I was thinking, this is the ones where apes discover philosophy, because they're at that point now where they know how to do other stuff, but now they're asking thinking questions. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Here they come. Here they come.
Okay.
They're getting into it.
One of my favorite things about this movie, and I think this is maybe why I liked it so much, is the soft world building.
Oh, yes.
There's very little explanation that we don't already know. There is that whole part with Raka is the orangutan in this one. He
kind of looked like he was born from an orangutan and a gorilla.
And
maybe it's a bonobo. Maybe it's a whole different monkey. I don't know what is.
Perhaps.
But he was ginger. I don't know.
He was.
All ginger monkeys are like the hippies. Like, I
don't know. there was like this whole explanation that he was telling Noah, like, yeah, like humans used to be top dog and they did all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I found that really cool to be learning about the previous movies the movie. So there's that. But then like the soft world building of where the world is now, where the opening shots, I was first thinking, and you said this to me while we were watching it, I was thinking, whoa, the earth has gotten crazy. Like there's all these really tall, like weird tree.
That's what
things.
I thought at first too.
I was thinking, oh, this is deep jungle weird
Yeah,
stuff.
like we're in the trenches.
Yeah, and then you realize, oh, this is a city that's totally overgrown.
Yeah, like this, and it's probably near I feel like it's near San Francisco.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was San Francisco, and then you were like, it's LA, and I was like, well, LA is not.
Here is why I thought it was LA. I must.
No, I
share
think
this.
you're right.
No, but
when
they go to the telescope. In the what's the word the
Griffith Observatory.
The observatory,
yeah.
what? The reflectatory. And I was thinking, a big telescope and a round thing. That must be that building in LA, which my father told me was Julia Roberts' house growing up. So every time I watched a movie with that white observatory, I would tell people Julia Roberts lives there.
And then she told me that, and I used to live in LA, and I said, Liv, that's like a public area.
Just
and that's
so
big
embarrassing.
telescope.
Like that's how misinformation really spreads people. One confident person tells a joke and like
that's the internet.
And my father.
Yeah. So
anyway,
I think you are correct that it is LA. The reason you were
they're
like,
in
this
California.
is LA. It's definitely California. And I was thinking, no, it can't be California, like LA, because LA is quite deserty.
Right.
But I think they just kind of said, it's been 300 years, like climate change, and it's grown over.
Climate change has gone the opposite way because humans are gone.
Because there is a shot of an airport, and I was like, is that LAX? Mm-hmm. And then there was another thing. Wasn't there a stadium?
There is a stadium.
Dodger Stadium.
I don't know anything about stadiums except like what they look like.
I think they're going for LA.
Yeah. I figured it was a big city. I mean, the buildings, but then they showed the stadium. And I was like, okay, like this. Also, it's probably an American city because movies are like never made in Canada.
Yeah,
unless
true.
it's Twilight.
And it just like, this movie wouldn't really make sense to move the location out of, so like the first three are really based around San Francisco.
So the zebras must have came from the zoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what I thought when we saw the zebras.
Yeah.
I was like, there had to have been a zoo, and the zebras were like, we're free.
You're like, oh, we're in Africa.
Yeah, I was literally like, we don't have zebras in this continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really know where we were going with this, but it is definitely taking place in LA. Mm-hmm. And just going through it, from that first city to like, there's so much more that there's just...
the soft world building.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you get to the beach and there's all these washed up, broken ships.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
The imagery in this movie was breathtaking.
And I think it did that. It was way better than the other three.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it's newer. But, and then you're just seeing these broken ships, and it turns around and you see this, they're living in one of the ships.
It looks like a Narnia encampment.
Yeah.
They have flags.
It was cool.
It's like, who taught them about flags?
Yeah.
I had a lot of questions about that.
I was kind of pumped. And honestly, I was like, this is going to be a little controversial, but okay.
Spill the tea.
The leader was definitely a bad dude.
What's his name? Proximus?
Proximus. You're not going to be a good guy if your name's Proximus.
Prime.
I love that they're going with these like Roman names like Caesar and Proximus.
Well, Proximus was like an intense name, but I was like, I've never heard this before. But is that Roman?
It's definitely giving like Roman senator, something like that. So anyway, I don't know. I just personally felt like when it does his initial sort of big speech to everyone, I'm like, this is not just a flat evil person.
No, he is thought through.
Yeah, and I really liked him as a character.
He wasn't like a primal, like, I'm monkey and I am bad.
Oh, and when he goes up on the
platform,
he is moving. It's like, this guy is nimble. He is an athletic specimen.
He's a little scary.
Totally.
But back to, can we talk about him?
You wanna wait on
Can I
that?
finish something about imagery?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
really
yeah,
quick,
yeah.
Before we jump into characters, because I do want to, obviously, I love talking about characters.
No, it's all good.
What I really like about all of these and watching all of them is even like the ones we didn't watch. I think the first one was made in the 60s.
They're
old. Don't know, like there's Like the original trilogy was in like the 60s or 70s, and then there was one with Mark Wahlberg in like the 90s, the 2000s?
Like 2001.
Okay, so the 90s? And all babies born in 1999 are like, no. Anyway, but this is a really fun, like, half-century chunk of filmmaking where you can really see how technology has advanced to make movies. Because it starts out with, like, a mask, and it's really creepy. I've never seen the original. I absolutely refuse to do it.
I've seen the... Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Don't
refuse.
love it.
But they use... What is it called? What is it called?
CGI?
They definitely use CGI.
Oh, animatronic?
No.
Or no, like the movement tracking stuff?
Yes, and I have a name.
You have the name for it. It's like Golem, all the other movies that use motion tracking sensors to sort of make the character that is animated.
Motion capture technology.
Motion capture technology.
Yeah, where they
Nice.
put little sensors on actors and actresses.
Yeah.
Do want to say that I think these guys in the new one did amazing.
Totally.
I really love Andy Serkis. I think that's how you say his name. Anyway, he plays Gollum and
he was
Caesar.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like the motion
He's the dude.
technology dude.
Yeah.
But one thing I found on Variety so Owen Teague, an actor, he plays Noah. And one thing I found on Variety that I thought was really funny and I wanted to include it was that he and a few of the other actors attended 6 weeks of ape school in order to help his transformation into a primate be as believable as possible.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they worked with a movement teacher to get in touch with their simian sides. And they were outfitted with extensions made from sawed-off crutches in order to help them move like apes.
Oh, so they had longer
had like longer arms to
That
like
makes
get that.
sense. Yes.
Or they probably had like stuff coming from their elbows because
Right.
they walk like this. Anyway, and they learned how to use their arms to propel their bodies forward.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Whoa.
and the director Wes Ball said that there is not one CGI monkey in this movie.
Whoa.
They are all using the motion capture technology.
Damn.
Even the little monkeys, like they put it on kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Which I thought was so cool. But I love the concept of ape school.
Aw.
Like, sorry, can't hang out today,
You know-
friends. I'm going to ape school.
That actually checks out because I'm thinking like there were no super tiny baby monkeys. Like they were all like
No, they were all
5-year-old.
kids.
Yeah,
They
like
were in
5-year-old
elementary
monkeys.
school
Yeah.
monkeys.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I love when I hear stuff like that because it seems like I mean, I don't know about movies, but it seems a little lame when the entire movie is just shot on a green screen that's like all and this isn't like really green screen stuff, it's more of a CGI thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I love that like human feel. Like it just needs like a little like
Yeah, it's fun. It feels more
know?
art.
yeah.
Like art. And,
Yeah, but there's just like some nice
yeah, it's why I don't like
imperfections.
the Disney like live action remakes of The Lion King and stuff because like it's not live action. There's no humans doing that stuff. It's just
Right.
all CGI.
Right.
Like how can you call that live action? To me, that's just another form of animation. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
We'll continue.
Yeah. So it's a good looking movie.
It's a good looking movie.
It-
It was
yeah,
visually appealing.
very visually
Speaking of
appealing.
visual appeal, Raka had incredible hair. That ginger hair, I was like, he brushes it. Like, because in my head, it should have been matted like Maurice's.
Yeah.
But no, that man had shiny locks.
That's true.
Also,
That's a
he
good
deserved
observation.
more.
I know. Okay, I'm just gonna say when he went, I was like, "There's no way this dude's dead." He's coming
No,
back.
I'm
He's
actually
coming
really
back in a
upset that
second.
he has. Like, did we see him die? Like,
No.
we said the same thing about
No.
Koba. But it's also like these aren't superhero movies.
I know.
You know, it's like he's probably dead.
Okay, here's what I think.
He was alive
They
as a
haven't.
prophet
They
for
haven't.
Caesar.
They haven't decided if he's dead, right? And they're making the second movie. Okay,
Yeah.
this was a really loved character.
They haven't decided.
We need like the smart orangutan.
But will they do that?
I think there's a chance.
I don't like when people do that. I won't lie. I
Yeah.
hate when I think a character's dead and then it comes back
Look,
and I'm like, what the damn hell?
It was pretty off screen.
It's true, and I'm actually really upset that he wasn't in the movie more because I thought he was really funny.
He was
really good.
a really fun character. Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry.
And again, I really liked him, and I really liked the villain. Like, I don't even know.
Proximus.
I mean, okay.
Let's call him Proxy.
His one teensy weensy little character flaw is kidnapping tribes and killing people. And that's definitely evil. I don't think that's redeemable.
It does sound like you're gonna just push that under the rug.
No. I mean, he's definitely a villain. That act alone is like, you are a villain. But he was outside of that. The rest of his like traits are very like. Actually, I kind of get it that you want the apes to like
continue
and work together to be stronger. Like, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And he was violent though. I'm noticing lately that like in movies, if it gets too violent, I have to close my eyes. And this is a new thing.
Wait, when was he violent though?
He in the end when he's beating.
Oh, at the end.
Noah
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
like,
totally.
I guess you did say his character flaw was violence.
Yes, violence.
Violence.
Yeah. The stretch from when he shows up to before his plans get ruined, though, he is like understandable. He's very like kingly.
I like his house.
Me too. And
maybe it's because I want to live in a castle, and that was the closest thing to a castle.
Yeah.
Well, the apes and the power towers. That was the word. I like that.
Sure. Power
towers.
towers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He had a certain charisma that I think the way that villains are often portrayed is they just suck, and like
I feel
they
like,
just kill for no reason, and they're like, I'm evil. But this guy was like, no, I've got a goal and I've got a plan, and I think it's for the betterment of the apes, but I'm also like at the expense of hurting some apes.
It was a realistic villain in the sense that he had charisma.
Yeah,
like,
I got that riz, baby.
I gotta say, though, you might not be used to it because you haven't watched a lot of Disney movies, but there are some Disney villains with charisma.
Oh, I know. He's not the first
Uniqueness,
villain with charisma.
nerve, and talent. But you are so right. He has a charm that's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's why people follow him.
Fun. Yeah,
it is fun.
I liked his character a lot. And I think also because Noah was such a... I don't know if stoic. I mean, he's obviously super depressed and sad about what happened to his life. So he's a pretty flat character.
Right.
Would you say?
To me, okay, Noah in this movie is actually spelled NOA, which is notice of arrival, which I think is really interesting if you think about that. Anyway.
Yeah, in my head, I didn't know how his name was spelled, and there was
NOA.
There was no way it was NOAH.
No,
because that's like a human name.
Yeah, like
and I was
they were
like, it's not.
Like it's very ape. Like
I was like, there's almost like a Y in there somewhere somehow. Like no ya.
But no love. But to me, Noah was young.
Yeah,
and he was learning a lot really fast that he didn't know.
Absolutely,
and he was processing it. So I understand the explanation that his character was flat, but he was learning so much history.
Yeah.
And he wasn't upset that the elders never taught him, which I really enjoyed. A lot of times they make the good guy be like, how come you didn't tell me all of this stuff? But he was like, they didn't tell us because they didn't know, which I think is really nice.
Yeah, I agree. And I do want to add, like, I don't mean that flatness as like a flaw or like, oh, I didn't like him.
Oh,
like,
okay. Compared to Proximus, yeah.
No, like he needed to be that for everything you said.
That makes sense.
But I just think that Proximus was very well done to balance.
Yeah.
Him Noah needing to be a little bit like reserved and
that's true
and quiet.
Yeah. No, it was a good not oxymoron, juxtaposition.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
Big word.
Nice.
Introduction.
What do you think about May, the Nova of the film?
Okay. I need to share this review about this.
Okay, we got a review.
Actually, this isn't the exact review. This is, in fact, a review I read, and I wasn't going to share it. But after seeing the movie, I really feel that I need to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I read a review that said they felt that Nova and or May didn't have to be in the movie. and it would have been the same or fine. And I completely disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I had never considered that.
Right. I guess I read it before watching. So I was like,
This movie could have happened without her.
Yes.
However, the rest of the movies will not make sense without her.
Right.
Because I think, like you said, they're kind of leading towards we're going to go back to humans and apes interacting.
Right.
And without her, I don't think that really happens.
Well, I'm thinking about in the beginning, this is like kind of nitty gritty. I have like kind of 3 main points to talk about with May.
Okay.
How she should be in the movie. And one of them is that there wouldn't be this continuation with humans without May.
Yeah. And again, like, I think the movie would have been a lot worse if she wasn't in it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, I guess you could have done it without her, but...
Well, she set the dam off, like the bomb off to explode.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. She does some pretty important stuff, whoever the frick said that.
Yeah, that's worse than hot dog water. I'll say
it is worse than hot dog water. I did not agree with it. It's hogwash.
Is it hogwash water?
It's hogwash water.
I don't even want to know what that is.
Depends.
Oh, hogwash.
Yeah, like washing a hog.
Oh my God. Never got that before.
Revelations, people. Light bulbs everywhere in here. In the beginning, we're just going to move along.
Right.
In the beginning, she is following Noah and she steals the blanket, gets the blood on the blanket, whatever. I don't know if I guess that's an introduction to the fact that there's a human following them. But then she comes to the camp and she squishes his egg.
Yeah.
And that makes him go out into the night again to get a new egg because the ceremony for bonding is the next day.
So she didn't mean to do the egg. She was just like kind of shoved
No,
him.
she didn't mean to.
Okay, because I got to be honest.
But then him going out, they find his horse and they follow the horse back and burn everything.
Yeah.
Which kind of sets off the events of the movie.
I was a little confused in that section of the movie.
About?
I thought that the masked taser monkeys, apes and gorilla, I thought that they thought that the tribe were responsible for those dead monkeys. So Noah sees like there's like a few dead dudes and they're his dudes, and I thought that they thought that I thought that the bad guys thought that they were their guys, and they're like, yo, who killed our dudes? We got to go get them.
Yeah.
I was very confused, and I was like, why are they attacking their village? Like, could they just talk?
Okay.
This might be on this might be on me, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, when you're introducing a whole, like, we didn't even know that there was going to be 2 different clans.
Yeah.
So every time I saw a monkey or a gorilla or any other version that wasn't a human, I was thinking, okay, they're part of the... Was it the bird clan?
Eagle clan.
Eagle clan.
Yes. I thought...
So when we saw them with the masks, I was like, oh, cool, that must be what they wear.
Yes. I was
when
like,
they go out.
those are their... Like, I thought they were all on the same side.
That's their armor.
And I thought it was the humans that would...
Yes, there was more than one human.
And then it was like, more of the Eagle squads showing up and be like, yo, we got killed. But then... And I was like, oh, maybe they're...
Yes.
Okay.
But then once Noah hid and was watching, I was like, okay, he must not know who these guys are.
Yes.
Like I quickly, that sounds like a brag, but I kind of caught up. But I agree. I was like, who is that? Why are they stabbed?
It was...
Where did the people run into the tunnel to?
Yes. Also, because they were using the electricity... The tasers, I was like, well, it must be humans with the tasers.
Yes, I was like, where did the tasers come from? Where did the guns go? I thought we had guns.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so that was the only confusing part of the movie.
Bullets.
It was probably mostly my bad.
No, but also when you're being introduced to a world, it's confusing.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I'm reading a new fantasy book, I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's everything. And 300 years in the future, maybe we were supposed to be confused.
That's fair.
I have a lot of trust in directors.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a flaw of mine. I'm like, well, I'm probably supposed to be confused. And that's why I like Christopher Nolan. I'm like, I'm supposed to be confused, I guess.
Did you have like more on May that you wanted to say, or was that everything?
Oh yeah, I did have a third point.
Because I got a lot to say about her.
Yeah, you keep going because there was something else, but Oh, no, I remember.
Yeah,
Let me
let's hear
finish. We needed May to really unpack the, I guess, religion of Caesar. Does that make sense? So when Raka came in explaining that humans once lived alongside apes, Noah is like, he's not like, no, that'll never happen. I think he's more like interesting because he, to me, has a very open mind to things. And then May was there to kind of help establish that could happen.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But so to me, she was completely necessary for those reasons. And to continue the story into the next movies.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Super important.
What do you
character.
think?
I thought she was very interesting because she's kind of introduced as this can't talk random chick, but you know she's going to be important.
Yeah.
You know, it's, this
she's
girl
in the trailer.
This girl's the key, whatever.
One
One of those
She's
one
the
of those
key to
types.
space.
Apparently. So I was surprised when she started talking really well, and I was, this girl is fluent and intelligent. And then, okay, when she breaks open the dam,
Yep.
and then
That was fun.
she's just watching everybody get flooded.
Yep.
And she's standing there up on the high place.
Yeah.
I was thinking, could this movie end right here?
I was thinking it was going to end right there.
And then she's actually
She's the bad one.
bad person
She's
of this movie.
bad guy?
Because again,
I love saying bad guy. She's the bad guy.
I did think that I was like, okay, Proximus is morally gray enough that he could maybe not be a pure villain.
Yeah.
And that the twist is that she is actually like, she just like lied to them all.
It is like humans are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the point of this movie is that, like, it's not about whether you're a human or an ape. It's that your morals inside of you and your actions that determine whether you're good or bad. So, of course, they need to add the little more depth. But, dude, when she was just watching them get flooded, I was like, oh my God, what if they just cut it here?
Part of me was kind of hoping they would just cut it there because I just like when movies do that.
Oh, I know.
I love when movies just end.
Just end.
One of my
just
favorites.
End on a high note.
Yeah,
Boom.
just
done.
boom. Can't wait for the
best.
next one.
The best.
I think her facial expression didn't let me think that way.
Yeah, see, I just don't notice some things. Well,
That's okay.
I didn't notice
That's
that.
okay. That's why we
totally
talk about
makes
it.
Sense. Did she feel bad?
What I read from it, and maybe other people, because everyone reads facial expressions differently.
Now, you're great at reading stuff. What was she showing?
I thought that she was showing concern, but she knew that she couldn't help.
Okay.
Because what was she going to do? Jump in and then drown?
True. Yeah.
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 And I do think her decision to I didn't want Proximus to get the guns either.
No.
Like I was like, oh, this is so annoying. Like I don't want
tanks?
him to. Yeah, the tanks. I was like, we don't need tanks.
I was like, oh
we don't need
boy.
Tanks.
I just want to see the gorilla up top somehow also driving the tank. Just like
just shooting.
Dude, pure comedy right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be comedy. It would twist into a bit more satire.
Yeah. Dude, it was so sick when she pulled out the gun though.
Yes.
Because they show she opens it, she's like, no, not here.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the hard drive. And then she looks back to the gun. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have a gun.
I like that she didn't take the big one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have known what it is.
No.
But we would have.
Yeah.
And the surprise of her pulling out this pistol was like, oh.
And I closed my eyes until I heard the gunshot.
Oh.
I had to. I was like, they're going to kill Suna.
Yeah.
And I can't handle that emotional impact. So my eyes, I was just like, just waiting.
Just waiting.
Yeah. And the final fight scene, I was like, waiting.
Sad.
Yeah. I just get scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's really important for the plot.
Dude, the last scene where she goes to see Noah and she has the gun in her back pocket. You didn't see it.
No.
Oh my God.
What?
You were writing something down when this happened, and me and Chris, we
that's when
looked
you
at
guys
each other.
started talking and you missed a joke, didn't you?
Listen.
No, you didn't. That was
you missed such an important glimpse. Okay. When she goes,
this is for the people who missed it too.
When she goes back to the village,
yeah,
she has a gun in her waist. She has the gun in her back pocket.
In her waistband, or
yes, no, like in her in her waistband in the back.
Okay,
and so it's covered because she has like the cloak on, and she's holding it the entire time
with her hand behind her back.
She has her hand behind her back because you can't see where her arms are. So she came to kill him. And then Noah says like, no, like we need to learn to work together. And she realizes, damn, this is not like, it's not me versus them.
Oh my God.
So, okay.
Philosophy.
2 ways to interpret it. Maybe she was like, I don't really know what's going on here, so I'm just going to hedge my bets and bring the gun.
Right.
But to me, the fact that she was holding it,
that tells a whole different story.
It really felt like she was going to kill him.
Wow, that's actually terrifying.
Yes.
I would have been really upset. And then the movie ends. I would have screamed.
Yes. So, like, it definitely showing a bit of the evil of humans.
Yeah, that's some grayness in there.
Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe you missed that.
I totally missed that.
It was crazy. And it was just
that makes me so scared.
It was just a brief glimpse as he's going on his monologue about how they need to work together.
Right.
And it's just like,
because I heard the monologue.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's why you need to open your eyes, people.
Yeah.
Talking to me.
Yeah. I totally forgot. But I kind of noticed that you didn't react to that. And I was like, she's on her notepad. Because we got notepads.
Because we got little notepads. We're those annoying people.
Yeah.
Man, okay, yeah, that's a really... What? How did that guy probably missed that part of the movie too. Whoever made that stupid review about her not being important.
Is a really important scene.
That drives the whole plot forward. You know what else we really
Oh my God.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, people are still... It's getting a little old. You know, the whole like us versus them.
Yes.
I mean, but also it is in the real world too.
Yeah.
Which I think we need to get into the political of it all.
I think that's what this whole series is about.
Yeah, well, not the political
them.
of it all, but the political.
I just want to say on that though, like I can see though why they're doing it again, because now rather than humans are top and like apes are on bottom, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
And it is like a soft reboot on the series.
Yeah.
So it's I don't even know if you can call it a soft reboot, but like this is a standalone kind of from the first 3.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's like same themes, but now with apes kind of on top.
Yeah, it's kind of flipped.
Yes.
The apes are on top.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess with the politics of it all is that I thought it was really interesting when we are first introduced to the other clan and there's violence going on at their home.
Yeah.
The Eagles clan.
Their power towers.
Yeah, the Eagle clan. Yes, the power tower village. And the big gorilla says for Caesar. So they're committing violence in Caesar's name.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And
the
I was
political
thinking,
side of it.
Okay, this is absolutely fantastic because these movies, obviously, like most movies, are very allegorical to like what happens in the real world. And I'm thinking like Caesar is like this god figure to them. And how many times have we heard people about people committing violence in the name of a god?
Twisting the like original principles
twisting
of
the narrative
of religion to your own motives
for your own motivation.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it's a classic.
Proximus
but
was kind of like, I am Caesar.
Yeah,
I was like, you wish, buddy.
Yeah, listen, buddy. I like you, but you ain't Caesar.
I mean, even like Rocca, when he did end up killing an ape, he said Caesar would forgive or something like that, which is true. I mean, Caesar did kill other apes.
It's true.
He wasn't
he was strong. Yeah.
But I think it was really interesting that, I mean, they did have the like ape stronger together bit, but they didn't say ape does not kill ape, which is the second part of like basically their Lord's Prayer, their version of it. Yeah.
Ape strong together.
Ape not kill ape.
I don't know.
Which is Maurice.
Maurice the teacher. Maurice the goat. Dude.
We're going to get Maurice tattoos.
I love that the orangutan is just the like smart
like left wing,
Yeah.
like hippie,
Yeah.
beatnik.
Well, but just even like, like Maurice was the
Commune.
teacher. This guy's like the book reader.
Yes, this guy
You know what I
knows that.
mean?
He like pulls out the books and I'm like, can he read those? And he's like, the markings mean something. I'm like, so he cannot read those.
Yeah.
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 Oh, so I think that it was very politically driven in that regard, where
Totally.
it's kind of a bit of a narrative on what's happening out here. But further on about books, I think that the scene with the ABC book and the zoo book
Oh, yeah.
is so important. And I really hope they do a callback or revisit that moment, because when, they kind of push aside the ABC book when Noah says that he doesn't say markings, he says the symbols have meaning. They push that aside, and then they're flipping through the zoo book, and they see the gorilla in the cage, they see the chimpanzee in the cage, and they kind of pause on it, they look at each other, and then May walks back in and they give her this look.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost that moment they understand Proximus's point of you can't trust humans.
Yes.
Because they really don't know. And
yeah, they're learning about the history, because they don't, like, as you said, Noah's like, our elders didn't know.
Yeah.
He's learning, humans used to like lock us up.
Yeah, like we used to be in cages. And I think that's an extremely important part for the rest of the series.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think that is, you're right. It's probably the biggest setup point for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love.
And then maybe, I think like you said too, the scene with the gun in her back pocket, I think that's also.
Yeah, that's also extremely important that I completely missed. So,
yeah.
Woo, teamwork.
Yeah.
When I look down, you look up.
Is there anything?
I have a question for you if you don't have
please.
any.
I think that's everything. No. I've gone. I just had a stupid joke about when they were going
jokes.
on the dumb bridge. They were going on that bridge.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, I'm hearing some boss music playing right now. You got on the bridge. A health bar has appeared at the top of your screen. You might want to proceed with a little more caution.
You don't want to look under the bridge for trolls.
That was like, oh, this is no good.
No, a bridge is just never a good sign.
Yeah. I think
that's really funny.
Mainly my only joke.
There was a couple moments for me where I just kept thinking, monkey see, monkey do.
Oh, one more.
But that's not a joke. Yours is way better.
I had one more thing about the main leader, Proximus, is that he was very like human vibe. Like he's like wanting to make civilization.
Yes.
Whereas the tribes are like, no, we just want to like live off the land and do our thing.
We want to be peaceful.
It was very like England versus Native Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Indigenous people in North America.
Peoples. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did have a feeling of that. And when they arrived at like the damn beach camp, I was like, oh, capitalism has entered the chat.
Yeah.
We're trying to advance to open the vault. What's in the vault?
Oh, but I loved that
Money.
there was a vault.
Yeah.
I was like, this is...
me too.
Man, when I found out that they're actually trying to do something, I was like, oh, that's so sick.
I liked that there was a goal, but my mind was very much like, capitalism camp, here it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, big time. I was like, at first, I was like, oh, they're just like moving rocks because he's evil.
I know, and there was one guy kind of like digging in the sand, and I was like, they're just building sandcastles together. Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like he was really hurting them there.
Again, that's what I mean. It wasn't...
They were scared, though. It was rooted in fear.
Oh, totally.
Which... I think a lot of like original, like in the beginning, like people were scared of the leaders.
Yeah, I just appreciate that there was a bit of depth to it. It wasn't just
Other reviews said that this one lacked depth that the first three did, and I was thinking, no. It's just, again, it is so hard to compare one film to three because you're thinking about the depth that was like processed through three movies, was grown, established, worked through, I just whistled, worked through to another origin movie. And it's like, no, wait for this trilogy to come out before you compare it to the first three.
Yeah.
I
totally agree with that.
I do have a question for you before we read the reviews.
Questions.
And I was excited to ask you this. Yay. Right this second, if you were picked up by a giant claw, You have the same clothes that you're wearing. So you're not wearing shoes right now.
No,
you're not wearing shoes. You
gosh.
don't have a sweater. You are dropped 300 years or a few generations into that future. Just plopped into the world. And you have the same physicality you have now. You have the same intelligence. How do you think you would do?
Do I know about like Noah and the Eagle tribe?
Why would you know about that?
Well, because I know about them right now.
Oh, true. We have seen the movie.
So
sure.
if I do know about them,
sure.
I would try to find them because I feel like they would take care of me.
They're kind.
And like, I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe my little human hands can do, like, maybe I have skills that they don't have that I can help out.
Yeah.
Kind of like that reader guy was.
Right. Oh, you could
know?
read to them.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You know, I could
right.
probably
Oh, yeah.
be helpful.
Oh, yeah. I was not expecting to see Frank from Shameless when that
Oh.
guy, when that William Macy or something, when he showed up, I was like, Frank? I'm
Yeah.
glad he didn't last a while.
if I
he
could-
was kind of like their Rocca
A
in
little
a way.
bit. Kinda.
Very different, but
Yeah.
like evil version, maybe.
Not even really evil.
Okay, fine. Never mind.
But
I'll think about that more.
I don't, yeah. Anyway, I
But-
love that question. And
Yeah.
I think if I could find a tribe that would be like kind to me,
Mm.
I feel like the tribes would probably take a human in. If
Yeah.
I came to them and just started talking,
True.
Right?
They do speak English.
they would be like, "Oh my god, you can talk," and I'd be like,
Darn,
"Yeah,
I thought this would be more of like a I'd be dead question. But
yeah." But if I'm just like
no,
dropped
I totally
in,
agree.
I mean, I'm probably gonna die. But it seems like the apes had value for humans that could talk.
True.
So that alone,
True.
yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely go cuddle with the little ones.
yeah, yeah.
I'd be like, do you guys know how to hug? Come here.
Yeah.
I would find them. If I was dropped in a place that was in the middle of the woods and
But
I wouldn't. I have no survival skills.
Same. I don't have shoes on right now.
Yeah, neither do I.
Can I do I have my large
Water?
movie theater drink with me?
Well, you're holding it now, so yes.
Excellent. I mean, it's a cup.
Grab cannon. Grab a pen. So you can show them writing. I think
That's
I already
true.
know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Cool.
Same question to everyone listening.
Let's
How
hear
do you
it.
think you would do?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's take our first caller.
alrighty.
Just kidding.
I want to hear some letterbox reviews.
Okay. This review by Dell said The Father, Monkey Man, The Son, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, and The Holy Spirit, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Wow.
And I thought that was funny because there's a lot of monkey movies right
Is
now.
Monkey Man about a monkey?
No, it's Dave Patel, and he's just called the Monkey Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't see that one.
Yeah, we got to watch that one eventually. And I think that's funny because there are so many monkey movies
I
out
love
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
Zoe Rose Bryant, who is my favorite movie reviewer. I read everything she reviews. I just want to put in a little plug for her. She posts her funny ones on Letterboxd, and then she has like more serious reviews in her own like Instagram website kind of thing. But her funny Letterboxd review was Kingdom of the Planet of the Eight, because they ate like, and I thought that was funny. Yeah. And one last funnier one from Noen was bro heard about the Roman Empire and thinks he's Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing he's talking about
100%.
Proximus, which I think is funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I also went on to Rotten Tomatoes, and this movie has like an
Ooh.
80% audience score, which is
That's
pretty good.
Okay.
But Luke Goodsell, who writes for ABC News in Australia, said Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has its moments, but its insistence on playing things down the middle feels like a portrayal of the series' bitter satirical origins.
Playing things down.
Playing things down the middle.
Oh, playing things down the middle.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
So he's saying like it's similar to. I don't really know what that means.
I actually don't really know what that means either.
Yeah.
I think I did when I first read it. Oh, man.
That's tough. Okay.
I'm not delivering, but he didn't really like it.
Does that just mean like playing it down the middle is just like you're going simple?
Yeah, I think that's what he means.
Yeah.
And this one was more simple, but when I rewatched the other ones, I was like, the message of these is very clear.
I feel like they're all. This didn't feel like a jump from the other three in terms of complexity.
No,
or
I
simplicity.
agree.
I felt
love
like
to hear what everyone else
felt
thinks,
on
too.
brand for this movie franchise.
Yeah,
I would say.
I agree.
I didn't feel like it was far off.
It's also so hard to base one movie off of an entire trilogy.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
you can't be like, this movie lacks what 3 movies have.
It's hard to compare one to the original, like one with James Franco, where Caesar comes. But
Yeah.
even if you just compared the second movie to this, maybe,
Yeah.
I don't like that. Isn't that complex? It's
No.
just like.
It's like there was
they're
a bad
so-
monkey who
Yeah.
was really upset that the humans mistreated him.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to take over Caesar because he didn't agree with what he was doing.
Yeah. I don't.
He usurped him.
I don't know.
Oh, we've never seen that
I
before.
don't really agree with that
No.
review.
Neither do I. And I promise I didn't pick reviews that I didn't agree with on purpose. I just found my favorite reviews that didn't really like it.
Yes.
Did you just read something?
Yes.
What did you read?
Okay. Do we think the main ape was called Noah just so that they could do a callback to the surprise? No.
Whoa.
Because in the first movie, the first thing that Caesar says,
He says,
is
"No."
no.
And then he kind of goes like, ah. No, he doesn't.
He just says no. But
maybe.
the first thing that the girl says is Noah.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa.
That's
so the first time she talks
is Noah.
Oh, okay, yes.
Totally
Yes, I'm just going to
intentional.
agree with that. Not even going to think about it.
Oh,
Totally.
I like that a lot.
Yep.
That's
Well
that's
done, writers
really good.
and directors.
That's really good.
I do have one more person who didn't really like it.
Okay, let's
All
hear
right.
it.
This is a review by Tommy0504 who gave it 1.5
Oh,
stars.
Tommy.
Out of 5.
Damn.
He said, "My
That's
dad."
a 3 out of 10, by
Yeah.
the way.
Thank you.
For
I actually didn't
for
know.
for our
For pretty people.
yeah.
My dad, who loves this franchise, was very disappointed, and I think that says a lot. Raka was the only interesting character in the movie, and he's the only reason to watch it. Once he's no longer in the movie, it ceases to be interesting. No.
I disagree.
I read that before the movie, so when Raka showed up, I was like, cool, this is going to be the best part, I guess, according to this reviewer, but I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
Proximus was cool.
He was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe a lot of it too for me was it was a spectacle. I don't think it was just spectacle. Like when we saw Godzilla X Kong, I was like, this is just spectacle.
Yes.
No substance.
Yeah, this is a balance of
But
both.
I think this had a balance. And like when I go see a visual art piece, I wanted to have some spectacle.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to just watch people like walking around, I would just look out my window. Anyway,
yeah,
I disagree with that too.
I'm quite impressed with this series as a whole now that I've kind of just got all of it
Yeah.
at once.
I agree.
I'm more impressed with it than I think I originally was.
Nice. Well, considering you hadn't really seen any of them until this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone says, is Noah the Lisan ape Gaib?
Oh my god.
Nice little Dune
Oh my God.
callback there. But someone says that this is the first Apes movie that really has a chance to lean into the post-apocalyptic aspect of the series.
Yeah.
And I agree, and I like that because to me, I love post-apocalyptic stuff. It's always very interesting to see the world.
I'm very scared of it.
It is not.
It makes me
fun.
very uncomfortable. But I respect it. And I respect directors and writers who can think about it and not fall into a hole of despair
Yes.
and fear.
Yes.
Do you have another one?
I
You
think
don't
that's
have
it.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
It just came out, so I'm excited to hear what everyone thinks, read more reviews.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see one that has a really good explanation of why they didn't like it, and I'll be like, oh, that's a really good point. But
Curious to hear what other people have to say.
yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. I mean, I love movies with apes, so I'm a little bit biased. Like I told you, one of my favorite movies was Tarzan. I love it. I love them.
Is it time for the review?
It is time for the review.
Okay. 10.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. Decimal system.
Yeah. Should we say it at the same time? We'll count down.
Oh.
And then we'll explain.
Okay.
Okay, do you have your number? Oh my gosh, he doesn't even have his number.
Yeah, I think I do. Maybe you should just go first, and then I'll go.
Okay, cool. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
And similar to last week's episode with you about challengers, like I don't really have a solid answer.
You don't need a solid
like
answer.
some
It's just
people,
vibes.
some people did include in their reviews that it was too long. I actually didn't really feel that it was too long. There were some moments where I was like, maybe this could have been sped up a little bit, but I've seen movies that have felt way longer than this one, sitting at just over 2 hours. So yeah, I'm giving it a 7.5, and that could change once the next couple come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you?
So I overall really enjoyed it. It was a good ride.
Yep.
I thought the final little fight was sick. I'm a
to
sucker
close
for
my
kind of
eyes.
little fights, all about that.
Fine.
I'm going to go actually with an 8.6.
Oh, a little over 8.5. That's high.
Yeah.
You loved it.
I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
It was a good blend of a cool world, cool stuff happening.
It was.
And I don't think it was too long.
No.
My perfect movie length is like hour 55.
Yeah.
And it was a little longer than that, but I never was like, oh my God, this is dragging on.
No, me either.
The bunker stuff, everything there happened really quick.
It's
They
true,
got to
yeah.
it, and
Because that's what I
love
really
that.
loved about the first three. The pacing is impeccable.
Yeah, a lot of other movies would have been like they try to break open the bunker and then fail and get caught and then somehow sneak out and still manage to do it. And they just didn't do that.
You just
they
don't
just
need
kinda,
all that stuff.
Yeah, they just got to it and
yeah,
because
and
of that,
the door opened and they were waiting for them because
it was well paced.
the mom was probably threatened.
Yeah, and also considering that you have to like explain this new world, like I think they did a good job for pacing versus.
And they gave us like a good climax, and
so I
liked
it.
that the Eagles came and took that guy out.
I feel like I'm just going to give
Excellent.
every movie we see like middle 8.
Middle 8. No, you
Because
won't.
I gave Challengers an 8.5.
No, you won't. Yeah, what would you give Napoleon?
Like a 2.2.
I'd give Napoleon a 1.7
Wow.
just for that one scene.
Maybe I'd give Napoleon like a 3.2 for that one.
You know what? Maybe Slay, because it's so bad that we're still talking about it.
I
But
know.
I still can't believe how bad it was.
I feel like this might have to be a recurring thing that like Napoleon is
Compare everything
maybe
to Napoleon.
is like the worst movie I've seen in like the
Ever.
last 5 years at
Ever.
least, and maybe ever. I
I-
hated Napoleon.
I have seen a movie called Abe Lincoln Vampire Slayer, and I think everyone should watch that movie.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that one's just funny. Like, it's so bad, it's funny.
No, Napoleon wanted to be like a hit cinematic blockbuster.
That's the thing, like-
iconic
like,
movie. And it
bad
just sucked.
movies are fun to watch because they're bad. Napoleon was boring.
Yes.
And boring movies are awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
boom. Nice.
Yep.
We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so much. Let us know
listening
what
all
you
the
thought
way
about
too.
it.
You made it to the deep end. Yes.
Yeah, you made it. And
Congratulations.
maybe we did monkey around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Haha, Noah. I don't know why I said that.
Nice.
But yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the movie. If you really didn't like it, we would love to hear a reason why with some depth, not just, it sucked, you're wrong.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and subscribe, give this a like, and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.